Alright, Adishimamba, Madam Wase, Samugusu, Etie Ayehu TV. I am on Casamuson for Queen Mary Good and Amata Mabejaso. Latest updates. The Aquadiaba and a Mako boy, Biano, Mibe Jim. Now, Monsu Motimi, Achamardi, a comment section, they say a day amae. Now, another yam and no Cassadia, a Dr. Kennedy Atta, and a Jason Pieso, Ede Apawaso, Ede Insembi, Abeto, a year HSM. Shana Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, Ayana Jesse or day, a year ex-president Addo Ďee Ebedinechi Amano Akoye campaign at the Amomo a upcoming election 2028 and yesa in Kukungwa and a Chese Omo Ebedi. Now I can't send back Ruby Eddie at 2 months, so I be able to come and say, Mr. Bibe Jim na at your phone so a church on one day or a comment session na ase. Nti ye mo room na yin ko tie Dr. Atta Kennedy and some more the two bedroom ni bi emba.
Oh, the task of the MPP is multiple levels. I've told you about reconciling the alienated 6 million who don't get anything from the paid primary voters. That reconciliation is one level. The other thing is what I call a reconciliation with ideas. So whatever the ideas or the philosophy of the party was rejected soundly in 2024 by the public. It's not me, they rejected it. So 2020, what are we going to tell them that is different? That means a reconciliation with what we did that didn't work and what we are going to do new that will work. And then there also need to be what I call a coming to terms with the status of the party and the status of those who are the faces of the party for the public. So for example, I think that if you go to the United States after 1932 when say Hoover lost to FDR, the Republicans sent Hoover into the back room. Nobody would put him on a conference to talk on behalf of the party. 1980 Carter lost. The Democrats never invited him to a public Congress. Why? Because he had become toxic. The public didn't want to hear from him. He was associated with their defeat. Nana Addo has become a public liability. So the idea that when you have a public function, you go and take Nana Addo and come and let him talk means you are not reading the room right. And Hackman also is yesterday's man. And I say that not because of their ages. I say that because of their relationship to the public and their ideology. Kufuor is older, but Kufuor is still a relevant face of the party. People, they like him, they respect him, they think he was a good leader.
So it's not just about being around for a while, it's about what the public perceives about you.
Precisely, what the public perceives about you and whether what you say resonates with them.
But how do we measure the perception of the public? Because sometimes they say certain things are just perceptions. They're not hard, current truth. So they say that, well, if you have 10 people in this room, I'm likely to have few people that will say that Addo was quite a good one. They would also say...
I want to meet them.
You want to meet them?
I want to meet them.
I doubt that it is the whole of the NPP or the whole of Ghana that thinks that he was a bad president.
Oh, it will never be the whole, but I'm just telling you that
on a greater level.
The reason why Bawumia lost had more to do with Nana Addo than with Bawumia.
So how then do we disassociate Dr. Bawumia from Nana Addo then?
That's up to him. If you go and look at my interview before 2024, I said that if I were Dr. Bawumia, I wouldn't invite Nana Addo to any of my platforms. Not only that, I wouldn't have picked a member of the last cabinet as my running mate. The polling showed that I respect polls. You know, I call Musa Danko and talk to him all the time. I followed Larry Gibson when he was here in 2008 to run our campaign. I respect polling. So polling gives you insights into what is it that the public is thinking, and then particularly when you do it with focus groups, so that it helps you design how you can craft your message to the public. So yes, of course Nana Addo will have some admirers, but I'm just saying that across the broad masses of the country and the general feeling is that he didn't run a good government. So for example, right now, he should be defending his record rather than telling people to follow the MPP. He has enough problems of his own. If you media people were doing the right thing and another showed up on your set, you should be asking him why he didn't sack Kenufriata, why he didn't do anything, why people were looting our coffers, why he dug a hole in the ground for 100 million, etc., etc. And that should take most of the interview. I am kind of a little surprised at how we have developed talent. Musa Damko and others did polling. 11% of those who voted in this election were illiterates. 15% had just gone to JSS. We need a little more quality in our voters. And not only that, even aside from our voters, our party needs to appreciate talented people. In the old days, we had people like, J.H. Mensah, Don Kofojo and others. Yes, the masses were there, but they knew their place. I tell people the story of Addo Ďee Ken, who he has gone on to meet his maker. May his soul rest in peace. He was the regional organizer for Central Region. Not educated at all, but very hardworking. And some young men went to see him. They said, Addo Ďee, you need to contest for the regional secretary. I said, every month to many other in Mungo school that general secretaries enjoy a crash of That was the attitude of the party. People knew what talent was. That is why in those days, nobody would have ever gone to sit on TV and insult Frank Watson. The first black man to perform a heart transplant in history, not just in the world or in our era, in history. That's a generational talent. Or to say things about Nyaho Tamakulu, ambassador, great physician, sports administrator. These are not just one generation, that they are multi-generational talents. Heck, the American Revolution was fought by soldiers on the streets. But those soldiers were not the leaders of the revolution. They looked up to Washington and Jefferson and Hamilton. These were seasoned intellectuals. The French Revolution, they look up to Robespierre and what did they call Cardinal Terran. The Russian Revolution happened when Lenin was in exile. They didn't rely on the masses or the people. They waited for Lenin because of his intellect and his energy. For our society and our party to move to where it needs to get to, we need to respect talent.
And that could bite hard, because then if you have to be honest to people who have to take up certain leadership positions or whatever position, a party must be then upfront to say that you don't carry that talent. This other person has that talent. Absolutely. Or could it be equal?
Absolutely. And not only that, even we are dishonest not just about the corruption, but about what parties can do for you. For example, I want to break the news gently to all Ghanaians. No party can take care of all foot soldiers. It will never happen.
Okay.
This idea of, all you foot soldiers who are neglected, when we come, no party can take care of all foot soldiers. You support a party not because somebody will put money in your pocket, or they will just give you a scholarship when you don't deserve it, or give you a job you are unqualified for. You support a party because you think its principles will make the society better. So in the US, you vote Republican because maybe you like lower taxes and deregulation. You vote for Democrats because you like affirmative action or whatever it is. So the idea is that you think the principles of the party will make the society better, so you can also benefit. One sad fact I observed, there are a lot of MPP people who were talking about, they said there was corruption and all that, and somebody who shall remain nameless says, no, people are not against the corruption that happened. They are against the fact that they were not part of it. We can never build the society Nkrumah and others dreamt of when every person who is following a party thinks, this is my cocoa season. If you don't give me money, I won't vote for you. Or the only thing is, if I come, you come to office and my son is not qualified, you give him a scholarship. Or if I'm not qualified for a job, you give it to me. When we do that, we are undermining our country. But we are not patriots.
Even